Shri Sai Ram, Jnana Vahini by Bhagwan Shri Satya Sai Baba, Chapter 11. Until the mind is destroyed, one cannot experience reality. Some people declare that they have had realization. How can it be taken as true? When according to the statement Aham Brahmasmi, one understands that I am Brahman, the Jivi, who is the I, is a mutable entity, a Vikari. So, how can he who is a Vikari, or mutable, and with the mistaken sense of I-ness or Ahamkari, possibly grasp himself as Brahman? It is not possible. A destitute cannot posit that he is a monarch. So too, a Jivi who is a mutable entity cannot prove himself as immutable Brahman or posit that he is Brahman. Who is this Jivi calling himself I? Reflecting on this problem, he will see that this mutable and ahamkari I is the immutable ever witness, the Atma, which being forgetful of its real nature, considers itself affected by change through sheer ajnana or ignorance. When he deliberately spends thought on his identity, he will know, I am not a Vikari. I am the Sakshi or the witness of the ego that suffers continuous modification, and then from this step he will proceed to identify the immutable seer or witness or Sakshi with himself. After this stage, there is no difficulty in realizing Aham Brahma Asmi. How can it be said that it is the Sakshi or witness who realizes Aham Brahma Asmi? Who is it really that realizes it? Is it the Sakshi or is it the Jivi who calls himself I, which undergoes modifications? If we say that the Sakshi so realizes the difficulties that it is purely the witness of the I, and it has no sense of I-ness or Aham idea. If it is said that the Sakshi has that sense of I-ness, then it cannot be considered as Sakshi at all, and it too then becomes a Vikari. The realization of I have become Brahman, becoming is the aspect of Vikari, never occurs since the Sakshi has no projected idea or ignorance. As I am Brahman, I am so and so is the aspect of Ahamkari. Therefore, there is no meaning in saying that the Sakshi realizes Aham Brahma Asmi, since Sakshi is neither Vikari nor Ahamkari. Then, who is it that so realizes this truth? It becomes necessary to say that it is the Jivi, the I, that does so, for the practices necessary for acquiring jnana to identify with Brahman are done by the Ajnani for his liberation from the shackles of that illusion. The Shaks, the Sakshi, has no jnana or ignorance, and so it has no need of jnana. The ignorant alone needs to take steps to acquire jnana. Qualities like jnana and ajnana attach themselves only to the Jivi, not to the Sakshi or Atma. This, however, is only an indirect knowledge or paroksha jnanam. Later, the Sakshi or Atma is realized In actual experience through vichara or inquiry, after the devastation of the abhyasa varanam or the obscuring or masking of the absolute reality with multiple appearances, this is the realization of the self or jnana. Therefore, the experience of the jnana is available only for the jivi because it alone has a jnana and jnana about the sakshi, that is the witness. So, it is the jivi, not the sakshi, that knows Aham Brahma Asmi. After the dawn of that knowledge, Aham Karam, I-ness, will disappear. He absolutely becomes Brahman. Now, who is it that experienced? What is it that was experienced? What is the experience? In the statement, I experienced, all these are latent, isn't it? But thereafter to say I experienced is meaningless. It is not correct. It cannot be called as jnana. By merely experiencing the immutable once, the mutable jivi cannot be transformed into sakshi. Seeing the king once, can a beggar be transformed into a monarch? So too, the jivi who has once experienced the sakshi cannot immediately become the sakshi unless the mutable jivi transforms, unless the mutable jivi transfuses into sakshi. The jivi cannot experience Brahman and realize as Aham Brahma Asmi. If it is said that the jivi who is ignorant about the sakshi, which is basis for its own existence, can through vichara or inquiry realize that it is the sakshi, the atma, the Brahman, how then can it declare I am sakshi? When one has become king, the kingship is recognized by others and not declared by the king himself, isn't it? That is a sign of foolishness or want of intelligence. Caught up in the coils of change, it is very hard, well nay impossible, to realize one is just the witness of all this passing show. The jivi, without realizing its essential nature as sakshi, that is the witness consciousness of its body, mind, sense, how can it realize its essential Brahman, that is the all-pervasive nature? Just as a beggar, after getting the glimpse of the king inside the fort, realizes his misidentification with the king and then immediately his delusion of sovereignty of the empire fades away, so too, as soon as the jivi experiences or recognizes the sakshi, the very substance of the koshas and the innermost non-negatable, non-objectifiable self covered by panchakoshas, which is subtler than the sky, which is beyond the threefold category of knower, knowledge and known, and which is eternal, pure, conscious, free, supremely blissful, then the jivi realizes its self misidentification or the I-ness, ahamkaram, and knows that until the realization of itself as sakshi, it is impossible to realize itself as the all-pervading Brahman. As a matter of fact, so long as the I-ness persists, the realization of the sakshi or the witness is unattainable. The sakshi is the inner core of everything, all-pervading, the embodiment of Sat, Chit and Ananda, that is being, awareness, and bliss. There is nothing beyond it or outside it. It is everything. To say that such Paripurna Sakshi is I is a meaningless expression. It is wrong also to call it the clear vision or Sakshatkaram. The Shrutis did not proclaim Jiva and Brahman Samanadhi Karyanam. Having some locus or location, it refers to words being in opposition. Words in opposition have the same number, gender, and cause, and are committed to reveal the same object. The two words wave and ocean, for example, denote two entirely different forms, but both forms have the same locus, water, which lends existence to both. Known as Aham Brahma Asmi, as Mukhya Samadhi Karyanam. Mukhya Samadhi Karanam can be explained with an example as the Akasha or the space within one Ghatam or the pot, and the Akasha is another pot. The Ghata Akasham means Sakshi, is the same as the Maha Akasham means Brahman. The Maha Akasham is the Akasha that has filled everything everywhere. Knowing that Ghata Akasham, the pot space, and Maha Akasham, the all-pervading space, is one and the same, is the Mukhya Samadhi Karanyam. The wind in one place is the wind in all places. The sunlight in one place is the sunlight everywhere. The God that exists in one form is the God that exists in all forms. Realizing this truth is Mukhya Samanadhi Karyanam. So too, Mukhya Samanadhi Karanam is knowing that the Sakshi or witness, the Atma, is one body, is same as the Brahman that is all pervading. But the Shruti does not declare Jiva is Brahman, as the statement Aham Brahma Asmi, as Mukhya Samanadhi Karanam, but it declares it as Badha Samanadhi Karyanam. Badha Samanadhi Karyam is the method of establishing the identity between Jiva and Brahman by the correction of an error, by negation or contradiction. That is to say, the I-ness of the Jiva has to be negated through vichara or inquiry. Then finally only Brahman remains, and thereby Jiva realizes Aham Brahma Asmi, which is the correction of error by negation called Badha Samanadhi Karyanam. Continuing as Jivi, one cannot grasp the Brahman essence. The beggar has to forget his body to recognize that he is the king. So also, man has to bypass the human body, which is the basis for his I personality, to realize and declare that I am in God, I am God. To realize that one is divine, the human personality has to be ignored by inner devotion and discipline and merger with the divine attained by realizing I am God. Similarly, when a spiritual aspirant realizes his true self, or a devotee realizes his divine nature, or a beggar realizes his kinghood, it is not regarded as a Mukhya Samanadhi Karyanam, but is regarded as Samanadhi Karyam. But the negation of the manifesting mediums or upadhis like beggar, aspirant, devotee, through vichara or inquiry, and also finally negating the manifesting medium, the human body. The Jivi realizes itself as Brahman. This is the teaching of the Shruti and not the Mukhya Samanadhi Karyanam. Without negating Jivatman through Vichara, it is impossible to realize Brahman. If Jivi is Brahman, just like in a deep sleep state, he should be changeless or divisionless, nirvikalpa. But that is not the case when Jivi is in a wakeful state. The Tejasa, that is the term associated with the Ahamkaram, where Atma is identified with the subtle body in the dream state. After a dream, gets back to this world and ponders, did I all this time travel over various lands, undergo multitudes of experiences? Was not all this a fantasy? I was never involved in all this. I was happily sleeping here, unaffected by everything. As a person recovering from intoxication, or as a person freed from illness, or as a beggar coming by a fortune and forgetting his indigence, man too must realize his absolute existence, Sat Chit, and enjoy absolute bliss or Ananda. Experiencing identity with the Lord, the Jivi declares, I am Brahman. Where has all the changing world fled? How deluded I was to be caught in the tangle of Jiva and Jagat. Past, present, and future do not really exist at all. I am as the Sat, Chit, Ananda, Swarupa in many forms and under various names without the three types of distinctions: Sajitya, Vijitya, Swagata, that is, distinction between the objects of the same species, the objects of different species, the parts of same object. He is immersed in Brahma Anandam or the bliss of Brahman. This is the fruition of Jnana. Therefore, the Jivi can realize itself only by the destruction or negation of all upadhis, that is, manifesting mediums. Until the mind is destroyed, one cannot experience the reality. The mind undergoes two stages while being destroyed: Rupalayam and Arupalayam. The tendencies of the mind, stuff that is all vasanas, and its modifications are the rupas. Destroying all these is Rupalayam. Then comes the stage of complex absorption, where it is neither a sleeping state nor perception of the world. Mind is free of all agitations and changes, but there is only the experience of Sat Chit Ananda, or being awareness, bliss. This is what a rupa is, and to absorb into it is called a rupalayam. After a rupalayam, realization of the Brahman is experienced. However, a rupalayam is possible only after getting released from the mortal coil. With the body, only rupalayam is possible, and as a result, one can become Jivan Mukta, or liberated while living. This state of Rupalayam, though not attained, the state of Arupalayam makes the person enjoy the bliss derived from the realization of I am Brahman. Because of the mind, which is devoid of all tendencies, is completely immersed in Brahman and has become one with Brahman. According to Siddhantam, that is established doctrine or principle, Sakshatkaram, or the realization or direct perception of God, means realizing that I am Brahman by dissolving all the vicissitudes of the mind, which is the manifesting medium of Jiva, and experiencing the Brahma Anandam, or the absolute bliss. But according to me, Sakshatkaram means transformation from the stages of ignorance of Brahman, lack of spiritual practice, doubts, and deep-rooted misconception of body consciousness to the state of attaining self-knowledge, then putting that jnana into practice and thereafter becoming free from the body consciousness, doubts, and all sorts of misconceptions by realizing the truth that you are of the nature of Sat Chit Ananda, being awareness bliss, and always being as self in that experience as Brahman is Sakshatkaram. Acharyas, gurus to emphasize this because this is Satya or truth. Jai Sai Ram.
साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ साईश्वराय विद्महे सत्यदेवाय धीमहि तन्नः सर्वप्रचोदयात्। ॐ